Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Kamen Rider Wizard. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so this one has to be specific because he is very ring bling. He wants you to look at his rings. He's very excited about them. So I have to try to get him in a look at my rings kind of pose. Because apparently, again, I don't know much about any of these characters. I'm always trying to research and find out because I'm very fascinated. I appreciate that they're still happening. I've been a fan since the original, like from a little kid watching. But I don't know much about them. So, oops. Oh, just spit all over my paper. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, all I can do is try to watch videos or just do my research. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what I'm really trying to say is that he uses these rings, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, they're very specific. In every shot, in every not camera shot, in every photograph, it's always like the back of his hands. He's holding one hand up to show these rings. So I assume there's something very special, very particular about these rings. So I'm trying to get them into the shot. Right? So I think I'm going to do we'll do like one crossing. Crossing his body where he's holding his hand up. Basically, we're going to be drawing the back of hands. That's what we're going to be drawing. And then we'll do one where it's just kind of up. But again, the back of the hand. Just so you can see the rings. What fingers are they on? Okay, the front one. And then the middle one. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. So it's gonna be pretty simple, pretty easy. I just have to get him in a specific pose. Blah. I can't speak. I have to get him in a specific pose. I have to say it specifically. I have to learn to enunciate. Okay, and let's see. And his coat's kind of weird because it's like a coat, but it's not. So it's basically a skirt, but the bottom half is a skirt. I thought it was a coat, but basically it looks like just a skirt, and that's okay. Hey, wear what you like, wear what makes you happy, right? I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying I thought it was a coat, but I'm realizing as I'm drawing it, it's like, wait, it's not a coat. It is a skirt because that part, the top part, it doesn't split. It looks like it. I guess because of this little rib cage thing he's got going on. But it's not really splitting up. Okay, let me just draw some detail real fast. And then we can get going, because I pretty much have the pose here. I just have to add some specific detail and we'll get going with the Sharpie. Right. Looks good. How's yours coming out? Awesome. Alright, I think that might do it. Oh, you know what? He's got little things hanging down there. Okay, I think that might do it. Just to find some feet. Oh, and he does have very specific toe design. Gotta make sure I put it in there, don't forget. Alright, cool. Alright, I say we get going. I'm gonna switch over to the Sharpie portion. I'm gonna welcome everybody that skipped. But first I'm gonna erase some of these sketch lines. Because working with the Sharpie, I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencil lines. So I got to be careful though, because my sketch came out pretty easy, pretty good, and I got to have something to follow, so I got to make sure I don't erase everything. And I'm using a kneaded eraser, so you knead it, K-N-E-A-D. Almost forgot how to spell it. You need to clean it. I'm saying it like it makes more sense if I say it slower, but you knead, like K-N. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. All right. So, welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point can find things that the fine point can't quite find. So, I'm going to use the pen, on the sketch first to get some of the tiny detail. I've sketched the entire thing out and I've erased a majority of the sketch lines, and what's left is a small faint line that I can follow to guide me in this drawing. So usually I use this on the eyes and stuff like that, something very specific because I can control the line width much better, but there's not a lot of detail in this one because it's a mask. So I think I'm just going to use it to do like the where the eyes and the front little V thing are, because they're very specific, very stylized, and I want to get it right. So let's go ahead and draw the eye lines and build off of that. Okay, so I know it looks like it's floating, but I did it specifically to a certain way, so I know where I'm following my sketch. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle like that. That's where the eye parts are going to connect. That'll give me a good stop point, and then I'm going to basically come in from the sides. And I want to pipe this down, so basically what I mean by that is I want to make it like hollow. Does that make sense? You'll see in a second. Like that. Now, what I meant by piping is a pipe. You know, you're going to make it thin like that. If yours doesn't come out perfect, that's okay. Don't worry about that. It's no big deal. It's just the style that I'm trying to go for. So do it if you can. If not, it's no big deal. Because watch, mine's going to be off. See how it's thick and thin? No big deal. I'm not worried about that. I just want to make it look a specific way. So it's okay if it's not perfect. Like that. All right? Perfect. Same thing for the middle, like I guess watch piece. Like the little hands. I'm going to try to pipe them like that too. So I'm going to go up here like this. Up here like this. Come out for the little pointy hand piece, like timepiece. Because I assume that's what those are, right? Because the last guy I didn't realize was like a watch. So I assume that's what these are. These are like watch hands again. Okay, I'm going to go up, do the same thing, kind of do like that. There we go. Alright, it's very subtle in the design, but that's what they look like. So, okay, so I'm going to go across here real quick, and then we'll do one more little piping for the way that color looks. And I think I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie now, because that's about all I need for this tiny detail, and I can do the rest of the mask with the big one. So now I'm going to follow around, and it's okay if it doesn't come out perfect. Remember that. It's no big deal. So I'm going to give myself a good place to start. I'm going to give this chin at the beginning. See how thick that is? That's why I wanted to control the thickness with this much better than with this. So this is going to kind of come under, so I got to be careful not to go through. So I'm just going to do it very delicately like that, and I'm basically coming around to up here. Okay? I'm gonna start here so I know where I'm going. Coming around to that. I'll clean that up in a second. And there we go. So it didn't quite come out as perfect as I wanted, but that's okay. It's no big deal. I'm going to clean this up a little. I'm going to extend this piping out just a little bit. Just because I can control it much better. Clean that up. And there, I think that's good. Alright, so see, it should have been a little bit more wider out like that, but that's okay. No big deal. Just going to keep going and keep working it out. Okay, so we're basically going to do that for the sides of his head. There's the ears. We're going to come around here, do this other side over here too. Come out here, a little bit too much. You're going to wrangle it back in. Come in like that. So let me clean that up, because look how that's not off, or not on. It's a little off as far as the shape of a head. So let me see if I can fix that real quick. I can thicken this part up just to kind of give it that shape a little bit more. There, see? It's a little thicker, thinner there, but that's okay. I'm gonna live with that, because like I said, it's no big deal if it's not perfect. But I can fix anything that I want to. I'm going to thicken these points up just a little bit. Make that more of a point. There we go. So see, it didn't come out perfect, but I fixed it. I did what I wanted to do to make myself happy. So there we go. There we go. All right, so this hand is in front of the body, so I can only go down so far, then I got to move over to it. So I'm going to bring the neck down like this. Okay. Oops. And his collar is going to be coming up like this. Come back around. This side, we're not going to worry about yet, because like I said, I got to draw that hand first. So I'm going to work my way around to it. So I'm going to come down for the collar, over to the shoulder, like this. It's got a little specific metal piece that we're going to be drawing first, like that. And so now I'm going to work my way down to the arm. Now, it's mostly material. There's no armor or anything like that. So we're just going to draw down like this. And his cuff is going to be right here, which is going to bring this other arm back like that. I'm going to add some creases and folds to the material. Just because, like I said, it's a cloth material that's very bendy. So I'm kind of taking advantage of that. It's got that ability to bend. Okay, so I'm going to draw his cuff like this. And the back of his hand. And I was talking about this in the sketch, that he's all about the rings. The look at what I got. Look at my beautiful, beautiful rings. So I'm going to draw him basically with the back of his hands on each one. So we're just going to draw hands. Let's see, this is his front finger, pointer finger, the middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky. And let's add a little bit of detail just to make it our own. But like I said, it's pretty much, that's all we're doing. That's all I really got to do. I mean, the face that's in there, I can't really draw with this, and I'd rather do it with color anyway. So let's see, and the cuff does have like a little bit of piping like that. So now that that's established, I can draw everything else that's back behind it and underneath it. So I can draw the edge of his shoulder piece right there. I can't really draw his middle thing right there because it's covered up, but I can draw the rest of what's underneath. So now I can move over to this arm. I'm going to come over this way for his shoulder, but again, this arm is in front, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw it like I did. There's the cuff. There's the forearm down to the elbow. Like this. Again, it's material, so I'm going to draw a little bit of creases and folds. And add extra little detail. You know what bugging me? This, too bumpy. I'm going to clean that up. There we go. And then draw a little line there. Boom. All right. So I'm going to draw the hand, and I've got same thing. I've got it showing the back because, again, he's got a ring on that hand too. So he's very proud. He's very, very excited to say, "Look at my rings." I'm going to go ahead and throw that ring in there where I know the finger is going to be. I'm going to draw the side of the hand, the pinky, ring finger because that's the one who's wearing it, middle finger. First finger, pointer, index finger. Okay, it does have a little bit of armor on it like that too, so I'm going to put that in. But again, that's all I can really do for the hands because I should have put that a little bit lower. Look how I got it like right on the knuckle. So when you're drawing, put it down here a little bit more. I didn't think about that. See, that's on the knuckle. That's a little bit higher, but that's okay. That's all right. So let's draw what we can see over here. I'm going to draw the collar just like I did over there. I'm going to come down and then the shoulder like that, and that's all you can really see because of what's obscuring it. All right, so I'm going to draw the chest piece down to the belt. And let's see, I'm going to do, it has piping on it too, but I don't think we're going to do all that. I think that's going to be done with color. That way we'll not worry about trying to get it perfect on that one. We're just going to draw the chest piece, okay? And let's see, it's going to come over like that. It's going to come up like this. Connect it there. And I said it, but I'm going to do it. Let's go ahead and let's do some piping. Let's do, because it's not hard. It does have a little bit on this side too, so. And it's kind of cool, so I kind of like it. Like I said, it looks like some kind of rib cage style looking thing, but the reason I really want to do it is because we can get like a cool looking contrast with this thick and thin Sharpie. Okay, so you can't see that one, so we're just going to come down here and do this one like that. Thing. Do some piping across the middle, and there you go. So we got like a cool looking chest piece that he's got, and I can build off of this. So now, again, this is all material. So I can draw his arm into his chest, into the belt. Now the belt, I'm going to do with the small Sharpie again because it's a hand. Ooh, just lost my cap. So the same thing, the belt is kind of like that ring. It's a hand that, again, it's too tiny to put the detail in. I'll do it with color, but it's the back of a hand basically. So we're going to just be drawing the shape and then build off of that. So I'm going to come in here like this for one finger, wrap it around like that, and then draw the fingers. Oop, that was a little too thick. That's okay. Look how thick that ring finger is. Oh well. Alright. You draw the thumb. I'm going to thicken it up just a little bit. And there we go. Now I could draw the rest of the belt. And so that's on like a giant disc. Let's see that you can see. Something like that. And that's okay if it doesn't come out perfect, you know. We're just drawing a circle and what happens, happens. And so now I can build on this. And like I talk about with all the other ones, I don't know much about the design. All I can do is go by pictures. So, you know, hopefully I'm getting all the little intricate parts right. But if not, no big deal. Not worried about it. My hands are shaky today. Okay, and I love adding creases and folds because that's material, so I know that it's got bends. Alright, so I talked about this in the sketch too, that I guess it's like a skirt that he's wearing, because I thought it was a jacket, but no, it's a skirt. It just kind of flows up. It looks like it splits. I don't have a good picture of it. I think it does. So here's the deal. I'm going to draw it as one complete piece, like it's flowing in the back. It may be two separate pieces. If it is, you know more than I do. Don't draw like I'm doing. Like leave a seam. Leave a seam of what I'm going to do. But that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it flowing like it's just thrown out there, okay? Like that. Something like that. This one I'm going to have flowing up. And this is where his other little toy pieces are going to be hanging off. Like that. And just imagine that it's flowing like this. And again, you stop right here and split it if it is split. I don't know. I'm going to imagine it's one complete piece. So I'm just going to keep going to where his leg's going to be. Go connect it like that. Okay? So that being said, I'm going to do the legs. And so now we're just going to come down here. And his legs are pretty much just material. So that's all I'm going to do is follow some anatomy. I know it's kind of bumpy, but the reason I did that is because I wanted to do some creases and folds in the material. And I'll show you that real fast so it doesn't look like I just did like a weird little bumpy thing. Add a little bit of knee. In there. So a little bit of stress and creases and folds because it is a cloth material, and just kind of like some fun stress like that, you know, just showing that it's got bends in it. Now speaking of bends, so I've got his legs spread, so that means we're going to draw a little bit of bends in his cloth like that. So we'll say that's going to be his zipper going across. We'll do more in a second. So this is going to come down to his knee, down like this to the cuff, going across something like this. So the other part is going to be going like that. I'm going to do more of those little bends because I can. And let's do some in his crotch too, because that part is getting really stressed if it is his legs are spread, you know. It just kind of accents that he's putting a lot of stress on that part of his pants. There you go. And you don't have to draw the same exact lines that I'm doing. I just do that because, like I said, I know that there's going to be creases and folds in material. And I like to play around. I love drawing creases and folds. It's so much fun. Okay, so I'm going to draw his shoes now, and I'm just going to come down here, and there's a very specific piping on his toe, so I got to make sure I leave room for that. And come down here, do that. I'm going to stop there because that's where it is. I'm going to try. No, I was about to do it with the big Sharpie. I'm like, you know what? I better not. I'm going to leave it. I said in the beginning I can control line widths much better with this Sharpie, so I'm going to use it just to control the line width. Okay, like that. All right. Same thing. I'm just going to do a little bit of creases and folds in the shoe too. There is like a piping on the cuff, so we'll do that. And same thing for this shoe. I'm going to come down to the piping as well. So I'll draw the heel down to the toe to the piping. I'm going to do that. That way I can do it completely with the thinner Sharpie. Just leave a little bump just to accent that there's something there. Like that. Pretty cool, right? Awesome. Alright. So, same thing, do a little piping. Like that. And there we go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Kamen Rider Wizard. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.